Okay, I'm going to talk about technique with your right hand for fingerstyle. Pretty much like any concept when it comes to technique, you're going to get a different answer from every guitarist or every musician you ask. So my goal here is to present the most the most general agreed upon concepts and the ones that will allow you to avoid injury and maximize your facility on the instrument. So the first thing is you really want to be loose and relaxed everywhere so you don't injure yourself. You don't want your wrist to be overcompensating. You don't want it to be sort of crushed backwards. You want it to sort of be pretty level, maybe slightly arched down. So that's the angle you're going to use in your actual forearm through your wrist when you're approaching the guitar. Your shoulders are going to be back. Arm is going to be approaching the strings at about this angle. Now when you pick, you don't want to do so much of just like sort of popping your finger down. You want to use the larger muscles in your hands. So you're really almost going to be pushing from back here and the back half of each of your fingers. So when you push, it's going to look more like this than this, than that. So when you're actually on the string, again, you're sort of going to be pushing from the bigger muscles in order to produce a sound. Same thing with the thumb. Now, as with everything, there are exceptions. There are certain situations which call for a different approach, but that's going to be the best way to pick with your fingers, to pluck the strings with your fingers in most contexts. Now, a couple other things. You're going to get a brighter sound the closer to the bridge you pick. So that's going to give you a very bright sound. Now, the further up the neck you go, the darker sound you'll get. Now, this guitar doesn't actually have a sound hole. If it had one, it would be right about there. But really, you don't want to go too much beyond where the top of the sound hole would go. So when I'm playing this guitar, this is about as far up as I pick. But I'll go all the way down there at times. I'm trying to think what else. I think that's about it. Those are the basic concepts. My recommendation would be, if you want to go really in depth, really with anything, the best answer is to get a teacher who can look at your specific technique and your approach and can correct you. Definitely practice in front of a mirror, because that'll allow you to see and self-critique your technique the best. And then if you want further study, definitely check out books by classical guitarists, because classical guitarists have the best right-hand fingerstyle technique, in my opinion. I mean, there are fingerstyle players who don't play classical who have great technique as well, but if you're working through the Aaron Shearer method or the Mel Bay classical guitar method, you should be good, or any other classical guitarist.